That was Plano Career Focus Group meeting. It's Friday, January 5th. Oh, 2024. I need to fix that. Sorry about that. I had January. I forgot. Okay. Well, I actually wrote a couple checks this week and actually put 24 down. So I guess I'm getting better, but okay, we'll get that fixed here. All right. Well, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Our agenda this morning, we'll start out with success stories. If we've got any landings out there to announce, we'd love to hear about those. We'll then have everybody give their 30-second introductions. We'll then hear from the practice interview team, the interview success workshop, the career tip of the week, and then our main event right around the top of the hour, which today happens to be open forum. For those people on Zoom, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, well, today being open forum, you just unmute your mic and ask away. For those watching on Facebook this morning, if you have any questions, just enter those into the comment field. We are monitoring that feed and we'll be sure to get those questions answered for you. Please note this event is being recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Moore. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. This group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when the prior leader landed a job. In 2008, I saw a need and created a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I spread it out and launched careerusa.org to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search that you may not know. It is available on Amazon. If you see me in person, I always have copies with me. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, also known as the PIT crew. You'll hear more about that in just a moment. Well, we'd like to start the meeting off with good news. Do we have any landings? Any landings? For those people who here in the room, we actually have treats, but I think these are practice treats. So thanks. Retirement announcement. Oh, John Ernett retirement announcement treats. Okay. Okay. Your transporter. Okay. I think there's a movie called Transporter. Okay. Anybody have landing out there they'd like to talk about? Going once, going twice? Well, just to sort of sum up 2023, we had 51 landings of people who actually reported landing in this group. A lot of people just sort of disappeared. They were here and disappeared, but I know of 51. So far, I just sent emails out to everybody who's disappeared over the last 90 days who we haven't heard from. So I may usually hear from one or two more of those people who've upped the number, but 2023, 51 landings reported from this group. So we'll start over again. We're now starting at 1, whoever the next one is. Okay. We'd love everybody now to please open up the chat window and put in your 30-second introductions for those that are online. Put in your name, comma, phone number, comma, positions you're looking for. I'll put all this information into an email that I'll put out this afternoon. What I'm now doing is I'm only putting out your name and target companies, because all the other details, phone, email address, and everything will be in the on the attached roster that I send out. That roster has got 3 different tabs. The first tab of everybody who's active. The second tab are those people who are alumni, and those alumni go back to 2006 or 7. So if you're looking to try to find a contact someplace, definitely look over that second sheet with the alumni. And then the third tab happens to be those people we've just lost contact with and we don't know where they are, or they haven't said anything to us. So if you will, go ahead, get your information in the chat window. For those here in person, we'll allow you to give your 30-second introductions in just a second. So we will put 30 seconds on the clock. All right. If you're still typing away, please continue to type away. Get that information in there because we'd like to be able to get you on the roster. If we don't know you're, if we don't know you're with us today, we don't know you're with us. Well, if you don't know you're with us, we don't know you're with us. I haven't had to talk for like a week and a half now. So, I'm just getting back in routine here. But if you put your contact information in there, that way we know you're with us. You'll get our email this afternoon with all those details. All right, for those people here on, let's see here. Now I'll pass the mic around here for those people that are in the room so that they can give their 30-second introduction. Give me just a second to get them up here so you can see them up in the window, and let me turn that off. All right, we'll pass the mic around here. Hold on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chandler Kim. I'm a technology marketing and partnering executive. I help companies win more and grow faster. I'm helping, I can help anyone with any contacts at Nokia, although right now they're having a kind of a rough time, but I still know some folks that are there. I am seeking contacts at Intuit this week, and happy to network with anyone and help anybody in any way that I can. Once again, my name is Chandler Kim.
Good morning, everyone. My name is William McLaughlin. I'm currently seeking a data analyst role. I help do the research necessary for companies to help them make data-driven decisions to help them improve their bottom line. I'm looking for contacts at Sedgwick and NTT Data. Again, my name is William McLaughlin. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Happy New Year. My name is Jim Parker, electrical engineer. I've spent the bulk of my career in technical sales and marketing. I have extensive experience in engineering, marketing, sales, project management, and quality. I'm looking for a position at a small to medium-sized company that has more jobs than people because I excel at jobs where I wear multiple hats. My name is Jim Parker.
I'll stand. See myself. There I am. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. My name is Jama Ball. I'm a global operations leader with 20 plus years experience in hospitality, healthcare, and SaaS platform companies. I enjoy creating order out of chaos. I am currently seeking a leadership role in service delivery or product implementation here in the DFW area. My current target companies are Priceline and Amadeus. My name is Jama Ball.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Kelly Lanier, and I'm an account manager looking for a similar position in account management, customer success management, client success management, whatever they're calling it today. I help people or businesses create their strong client relationships, which leads to sales and revenue. I'm looking for a contact at Prime Energy Drinks. Thank you. My name is Kelly Lanier.
Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year. I'm Drew Puckett, and I'm a channel partner program manager with a passion for data and BI. And so in addition to channel partner program manager positions, I'm also looking at BI and analytics manager. And my name is Drew Puckett.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Knezek. I'm an IT project manager specializing in release management. I can also do transition management, which means basically I can deliver a project as well as support it in production. I'm looking for contacts at Cognizant. Again, my name is Mark Knezek.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Anthony Archery. I'm a senior retail manager / merchandiser. I help companies grow robust sales and profit and reduce costs. Anthony Archery.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Jeff Laurie. I am an inside sales manager, looking for a manager or director of inside sales reps or business development. I've built and rebuilt inside sales teams over and over. I'm successful with processes and procedures, working with sales executives to get the go-to-market right. Gartner is one of my top companies that I'm looking for, but really looking for excuse me, anything in technology, inside sales. Again, my name is Jeff Laurie, Lawrie. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Manuel. Oh, sorry. Hello, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Isaac. I'm a full-time student for software engineering at UTD Dallas. I'm looking for anything regard data
Denny Keelan Mobile.
business analyst. Yeah. Again. Oh, okay. So yeah, my name is Emmanuel again. Yeah.
All righty, let's see here. Two websites, totally free for everybody. If you know anybody who's unemployed, let them know about Career DFW and careerusa.org, two totally free websites. They're just out there to help you. They don't collect any personal information. There's no registration. Just they're there to help you. It's got all sorts of great information on it. One of the things you'll find on the Career DFW website is a bunch of calendars. And on those calendars, you'll find job fairs that are happening, workshops that are happening, networking meetings that are happening in person and online. So just check out that information as need be. All right, let's hear about the practice interview team. Chandler, will you talk about it?
Interviewing is something that all of us will go through as part of acquiring our next position. And one of the difficulties with interviewing is we never get any feedback on how we're doing or if there are ways that we can improve. The practice interview team is a unique, free opportunity for anyone who wishes to practice their interviewing skills. It involves identifying a job opportunity, either one that you've applied for or just maybe one that you're interested in it. And requesting an interview. You'll go through a panel interview with about 3 different panelists. It's a real practice opportunity where you will pretend to actually go through the process, and then you'll get feedback on your interview answers and demeanor and all kinds of tips that can help you when you actually go through the interview. If you'd like to learn more about this, please send an email to the email address there, dallaspitcrew@gmail.com. And once again, it is a free opportunity to help improve your interviewing skills.
Also, starting this year, starting in January, the practice interview team will now be meeting in person on the first, second, and third Wednesdays of the month on 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock right here in the same room we're in right now, Christ United Methodist Church in Plano. So if you're available, you can come watch a practice interview. I know we had one yesterday or 2 days ago on Wednesday. So if you'd like to schedule an interview, they're meeting on the first, second, and third Wednesdays. The fourth and fifth Wednesdays will be online. So for those outside the DFW area, you'll be able to watch a practice interview on the fourth, and if there is a fifth Wednesday each month. All right, let's hear about the interview success workshop. Walt Glass, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Walt Glass, interview success coach. I looked around to see if there was a certification for being an interview coach. There wasn't any. So I developed my own certification program. It took me 3 times to pass it. It's pretty expensive, but now I am a self-certified interview success coach. What do? I help you gain skills and confidence for successful hiring interviews. What is a successful interview? Well, since the interview is a selling situation, what are we selling? Everyone says ourselves. Just what does that mean? Well, there's 3 parts. It's who we are, what we do, and how we help. How can we sell our soft skills, our characteristics, our culture match with the organization? The I do is our experience, our background, our skills and knowledge on the hard skills. And then how do we combine those to show them how we can help? People don't hire us just to do things. They hire us to achieve things. And so why is it that our interviews are mostly on the I do side, very little on the I am, and almost none on the I help? So we want to learn how to sell those in an interview. And I do that through the free interview success workshop. Look me up on LinkedIn. My about section gives you information about registering. You have to be registered to attend. I only do 1 or 2 people at a time. It's online. Be glad to have you send me an email to that Yahoo email address, and I will get you registered and scheduled. And I'm offering a special for January. You buy one free interview success workshop and you get one free pit crew interview. So I'm making a special deal. Jump on now. This will last forever. It will end in February. So I'll make sure that you jump on that offer. Glad to help. Tired of looking for a job? Then give practice interviewing a nod. The path has been cast. The benefits are vast. Put job search in the past.
We're having to run back and forth because they only left one microphone out here tonight, so I'm having to move back and forth a lot. All right. Let's see here. Let's take that off. Microphone duty. All right. Our career tip of the week. Rosanna is not with us this morning. She had a doctor's appointment with her son. So hopefully if you didn't check out this week's career tip of the week on Career FW Career USA, please go check it out. It's just a New Year's wish. It's sort of funny. If you read it, it's sort of written by attorneys and not to offend, in today's woke society, you don't want to offend anybody. I don't think this offends anybody. So please check it out if you'd like to. But I am going to read another tip. Let me move some stuff around here. And I'll share here. We're just going to check out an ode tip of the week just to have something. And it's called 5 minutes early is on time. This is back from 2017. This is sort of my motto and what I believe in. So I have a magic pill to sell you. It will help you make more money, be happier, look thinner, and have better relationships. It's a revolutionary new pharmaceutical product called Late No More. Just one dose every day and allow you to show up on time, greatly enhancing your life and the lives of those around you. All joking aside, being late is unacceptable. While that sounds harsh, the truth is, and sometimes it should be said more often. I don't care if you're attending a dinner party, a conference call, a coffee meeting, your punctuality says a lot about you. I didn't write this, but I just agree with what they're talking about. Being late bothers me so much that just thinking about it makes me queasy. Being late, which does occasionally happen, usually causes me to break out into a nervous sweat. Then later, the later I am, the more it looks like I've sprung a leak. Catch me more than 15 minutes late and it looks like I'm swimming. On this issue, I find myself a member of a tiny minority. It seems that most people consider that a meeting time or a deadline is merely a mild advisory of something that might happen. I've been called uptight, unreasonable, or variations prefaced with expletives. In a world that feels perpetually late, raising the issue of punctuality isn't a way to win popularity contests, and I'm okay with that. The reason we set meeting times and deadlines is to allow for the coordination of efforts, minimize time, effort waste, and help set expectations. Think about what you'd be able to get done if everybody just chilled out and went with the flow. It would be the definition of inefficiency. It's probably not hard to imagine, considering that just last week, I had 13 different people tell me blow meeting times or miss deadlines. It feels like a raging epidemic, seemingly smoothed over by a barrage of bad buds. Sorry, man, you know how it goes. The desired response is, it's all good, but reality, it's not okay. Here's what it is. Let's see, who's the author on this? Brent Shore. Okay. Number one, disrespectful. Being on time is about respect. It signals that you value and appreciate the other person. If you don't respect the meeting participants, why are you meeting with them in the first place? Inconsiderate. Unintentionally being late demonstrates an overall lack of consideration for the lives of others. You just show you don't care. Big timing. Intentionally being late is about power. It shows the other person or people that you're a big deal. I have an upper hand in a relationship. It's also called, well, I'm not going to say that. Okay, incredibly. No, it's not in a good way. When you miss meeting times or a deadline, your credibility takes a trajectory of a lead balloon. you can't be counted on to be on time. How could you possibly have credibility far enough for tougher tasks? Unprofitable. Let's consider a scenario where 5 people are holding a meeting at 2 p.m. You saunter in 10 minutes late and just wasted 40 minutes of other people's times. Let's say the organization bills at $200 an hour. Are you paying the $133 bill? Somebody certainly is. Disorganized. If you can't keep your calendar, what other parts of your life are teetering on the edge of complete disaster? Being late signals the best that you're barely hanging on and probably not someone I want to be associated with. Overly busy. Everybody likes to equate busyness with importance, but the truth is truly successful know that it's BS. Having a perpetually hectic schedule just signals that you can't prioritize or say no, neither of which is an enduring trait. Flaky. Apparently, some people just flake out, which means they are arbitrarily decided not to do the things they committed to do at the very last minute. Really? That's ridiculous. And Mago something or other. While most of us grow out of this age by the age of 8, some genuinely believe that they're the center of the universe. It's not attractive. Note, this is also called the Donald Trump syndrome. Do you want to be compared to Donald Trump? As I said earlier, I'm occasionally late. Sometimes a true emergency happens or an outlier event transpires. When it happens, I try to give a very detailed account of why I was late, apologize profusely, and make sure the other person knows that I take it very, very seriously and assure to them it won't happen again. Paying attention to punctuality is not about being judgy or stressed. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It makes a room for caring, considerate, thoughtful people that I want in my life, whether it's friends or colleagues. Think about how relaxing your life would be if everybody just did what they said they would do and when they said they'd do it. A good place to start with yourself, and a great motto is something I've taught myself as a child. 5 minutes early is on time is late. Late is unacceptable. And I think who was it? With the Green Bay football coach, didn't he used to say, at 5 minutes, when he had 5 minutes to, 5 minutes early was on time. If you weren't 5 minutes early to a meeting, he would just lock the door and you just missed that meeting. And if you missed the meeting, you didn't get to play that week. So, that's just what he expected of his football coaches. So, just want to, I don't know. It's something that personally, it bugs the heck out of me. But I understand some people are late, and that's just sort of the way it is. But, I've been doing this for 17 years now, 16 years. People who show up late every Friday, and you all haven't done it recently, but there used to be somebody pre-COVID always 15, 20 minutes late. And I went, that's somebody I'm just never going to hire. If I ever was in a position to hire somebody, why would I hire somebody who always showed up? Would you show up 15 minutes late to an interview? I understand people are doing it nowadays. But I don't know. I don't know how you can do that. I'm not going to say. He wants to know if first letter M. It's like, nope, I'm not going to mention any. No names. Nah, not going to mention any names or letters. All right, just a quick mention, careerdfw.org and the North Dallas Plano are 2 different groups. The Career DFW is a 501c3 nonprofit that I started back in 2008 to help those who are unemployed. The North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group are a bunch of great people who get together on Friday mornings, either online or here in person. And the groups are growing. We've got 12 people here this morning. Thank you for being here. And there are 2 separate groups. The only thing that's the common thread is that I happen to lead both. This is not the Friday group of Career DFW. I always like to mention that. I made a decision when I started Career DFW that I didn't want to have groups associated, that, the website's something separate, that all the groups that are out there are separate. So if you'd like to overthrow me here in the North Dallas group, you're welcome to do that and take this over, but you're not going to get Career DFW out of my hands. I'll just mention that. Okay, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to do open forum. We'll talk about whatever it is you'd like to talk about in your job search. I just want to mention upcoming sessions. Next Friday, how to stay positive in your job search. Lorraine Friedman is a coach, a career coach, or I forget the exact title, but she's a coach. She's talking about positivity. She'll talk about how to stay positive in your job search. I know sometimes it gets hard to do. And then I'm still lining up what's happening on the 19th. I know on the 26th, Elizabeth Lyons will be here to talk about Chat GPT and your job search, how to use Chat GPT in your job search. And I've already got people some sort of lined up in February. So I am working on getting people scheduled here. For somebody you'd like us to see, if you have somebody you want to see, please let me know. Send me an email. I'll be glad to reach out to those people and do that. In fact, Patty, I see you're online. Your name is popping up here very shortly to present again on Crystal Knows. So just FYI, you'll be getting an email soon. All right. Well, we're going to do open forum. So what we'd love for everybody to do is please turn on your cameras so we can see you. And let me change things here so we can see everybody. And we will talk about whatever it is you would like to talk about. We only have one mic here in the room. So for those people, just as you want to say something, raise your hand. I'm going to move out there so you can see me out there also. So questions, comments, please. What would somebody like to start out with today?
Good morning, it's Veronica Tatum. I'm sorry, I haven't seen you guys in a while. I've been a pretty bad fourth quarter for me and everything. But I guess my question is, like I said, I don't know if I'm still in my job search or not. And the reason why is because a lot of changes to my organization here in the last quarter, a lot of return to the office, a lot of people retired, a lot of, transitioning of groups within global supply chain. As of this week, my title changed from senior sourcing to lead sourcing management. I think it's the new title I have. I guess for me, I'm just trying to figure out in this year, do I stay content and just kind of grow in this role, or do I try to go beyond the role and still, actively network and, maybe find some organizations that are like supply chain organizations or groups that are here in Dallas, Fort Worth that I might be able to network with to grow my knowledge and skills. I'm kind of like in between right now, like what should I really do? But I guess the question is, am I happy where I am? Not really, but I mean, at the same token, it's been kind of tough, trying to stretch myself beyond my group and other organizations that are internally or externally.
Comments, suggestions?
I would network for sure. And that there are other groups that are supply chain that you can connect with and keep on doing that. I think what they've done is they've downsize your title and role. So I think that's a big indicator that, you could be on the chopping block.
Okay.
Any other comments? Ray, okay, I can't, Ray, you have a comment? Go ahead. Unmute your mic.
Oh, there it goes. Thank you. I would definitely agree with Patty. Do not stop networking ever. That's going to be very important. It sounds like it's good that you're noticing these changes because a lot of people are so busy doing their job that they don't keep their job. So I would definitely, it sounds like you're not happy, but that aside, you definitely need to continue, if not build out your network and keep that alive. Just have 5-minute virtual coffees, set up little Zooms like this. Also, I would recommend reaching out, just sending emails like Happy New Year, stuff like that. Don't approach it from a perspective of I'm looking, but approach it from a perspective of, hey, I just wanted to reconnect. It's been a while, just wanted to see how you're doing, and let the let the conversation grow organically, as they call it. But yeah,
Definitely agree. And I, before like the last 2 weeks in December, I had a lot of people virtually reaching out to me. They were like, "Hey, I see you post a lot on LinkedIn, like of downtown Dallas, like when I'm walking out for the end of the day or out on the plaza, like this past week, watching the SMU game on the big screen and everything." I had a lot of people just approach me and send me invites and say, "Hey, let's have a virtual coffee," or "Hey, I'm going to be back in the office next week. Let's sync up." And I've had like a lot of the HR type folks from AT&T reach out to me as well for virtual coffees or just, to see how things are going. So, definitely, like I said, continue to network, but I think it's been kind of hard to, I guess, with the title changes and everything, because a lot of people think I'm a recruiter as well. And so that's where I get a lot of confusion from a lot of people. They're like, "Well, you're a recruiter." I'm like, "No, I'm not a recruiter. It's just a title within global supply chain that we have for, you know, sourcing managers." So we don't actually source people. We source, for, at least I do, for radio access networks. So, like I said, just trying to just strategize for the year. And one of my mentors from an ERG group in AT&T has partnered me with somebody that she feels would be a good fit for me to kind of, shadow on some things. So I'm looking forward to that and, connecting with that person next week if they're back in the office. So.
Now's a great time to just be sending out comments, Happy New Year to everybody and what's going on. So great time to do that. Great opportunity. Anybody else have any comments in here?
Just Veronica, I'm in the networking field, and when you mentioned sourcing, I immediately thought about device sourcing, component sourcing. So
right,
it did fit.
And which I did that for 18 years for the legacy Uverse digital subscriber lines, and which while I was in the office during the Christmas break, I had somebody approach me. They saw my resume and they were like, "Hey, I like your background that you had with the legacy space," which they have an opportunity in that, but I have not heard back from that person yet. But the person that referred me over I did see them in the office yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, please follow up with that person," because they were very interested in me probably, interviewing for that opportunity. So.
All right. Anybody else? Any other comments, suggestions? Now's a great time to reach out. All right. What else can we answer for somebody? Question somebody else has. It's going to be a very short meeting if nobody has anything to say. Okay. Questions?
Yeah, I have a question. It's going to seem a little bit odd, but I'm going to give it a go. What is considered a reasonable commute around Fort Worth and Dallas area?
I think it depends on the day, the time, and everything, because my commute from the Rowlett area to downtown Dallas, it depends. If I leave by 6:30, I'm at downtown at 7. If I leave after 7, I don't make it downtown to maybe 8:30. And that's taking like the George Bush to 75 or even some of the side streets to get to downtown. It just varies. I would say, at least for me, it does.
Okay, thank you.
I think reasonable, it's whatever you can tolerate. Hey, that's it. It's what can you tolerate? I used to drive from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, from where I was in North Dallas out to Greenville, Texas every day, 52 miles one way. So I was putting on 104 miles a day, but I was going against traffic because everybody was coming in. I was going out and I could be there in about 55 minutes. So it never was a problem unless there was an accident on the road. So what's tolerable to you?
Yeah, it seems that everything is in this band for me anyway. Everything that looks possibilities is in this band between 50 and 70 miles a day. It's quite a distance. And then the other one I had was relating to my experience. So when I was younger and before I got into it, VP level, senior level management, executive, I was very technical in the extrusion industry. I'm basically a full expert on everything about rigid extrusion. And I'm well known in the industry too. I'm trying to figure out when I'm doing resumes, I'm trying to bring balance to what I can do without excluding certain segments that I think are fairly sellable items. Is there a resource or something that I can go, kind of bounce some ideas off and see if I'm making the mark? Because at the moment it feels like I'm missing pretty badly.
Well, I think those are the people that that's the people in this group. If there's somebody in this group who you want to reach out to try to have them take a look. I mean, to me, the whole point, if you're talking about what you're putting on your resume, is your resume needs to only talk about what they're asking for in a job description. So if you're seeing a posting, just tell them what they want to know. And you have a section on your resume called prior relevant experience that you can list some other things that you've done or companies that you've worked for. But you want to get that phone call. Once your resume is just there to get a phone call. That's all it is.
Right.
Once you get that phone call, then it's up to you to sell yourself and the rest of the thing. And if for some reason you're not getting past the initial phone calls, sounds like the practice interview team or Walt Glass's interview success workshop is what you need, is the next step on, I'm getting this, but I'm not getting that far. If you're making it, if you're making it to the finalists, the final 2 or 3 people, but you're never getting over that final leap, more practice interviewing, because obviously they don't see the fit. So, or they don't see how you would be a good match or how, you'd fit in with the team. So, practice makes perfect. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Mark, this is Walt Glass. I like your question. Go back and think about in your career beyond the extrusion, what is it that people come and ask you about? Where are you the go-to person? You're also an SME for that particular area as well. So perhaps in an interview, you might say, well, starting when I started out, I became a subject matter expert in this. And since then, I have become expert in A, B, and C, all relevant to the job. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds logical. I will say to every job that I apply for gets a very unique resume. So I'm definitely slicing them up or with relevant information and experience in there. It's just maybe my frame of mind is a little bit skewed right now because of the 2 weeks of silence in the job market caused by Christmas and New Year. And that, maybe as things open up, maybe I'll see it a little bit differently. But that's good information. Thank you for that.
Hey, everybody, this is Jeff Laurie again. Jeff, was there a person here that was like the resume go-to person that would help with the resume? I looked in my notes from previous meetings that I saw. Was that not here? It was beyond the pit crew and it was beyond the.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah, years ago there used to be. I'll be glad to look. I mean, I'm sort of doing the resume class. So, I mean, I don't mind. I'll be glad to look at somebody's resume, but I'm going to make it look like the format that I like to see. And pretty much I'm going to look at everybody's bullet points and go, is there a result? Are you telling me how you succeeded? Because on a resume, I want to know what you've done. Because if I need to hire somebody, I just hire somebody who can increase sales, decrease this, increase that, show me that you've done those things by those bullet points. I liked, we had the speaker from Houston who mentioned that this is on a bullet point, what you did followed by the words resulting in, and then give the result. And if every bullet point is in the same format, this is what I had to do, resulting in, and then the result part, that's the sale. That's what's going to get you, that's what's going to get you that phone call. Once again, the resume is just there to get you a phone call.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
I had a question, Jeff. So We have fantastic resources through careerdfw.org, lots of networking groups. So one resource I've never touched is Texas Workforce. Does anybody use them, and what for? What have you used them for?
Years ago. But they have counselors there. They have clerks that'll help you. They have classes in resume, LinkedIn, that sort of thing. My experience is that you get more from these groups than you did from Texas Workforce. I hate to just lump government people into a group, but it's just a job for them. They just show up. And I mean, I started with them when I first came to this area. So, and I hadn't really gotten tied into a bunch of this kind of stuff. So it was helpful. It's not like it was a complete waste of time. And they have ties to other resources, especially veterans groups and so forth, because they're tied to the government. It's just another place to check into. If you're looking for a job, look into everything. It's your career, it's your life. The more you learn, you're going to be able to make a decision that suits you. Tying back to the commute decision, it's personal. For me, half hour is the most I want to commute. But I've known people that commuted 75 miles each way to work because they liked where they live and they were willing to put up with it. I've known people out in California that had a 2-hour commute both ways because that's just what it is there. Right. I personally would move out of California before I'd put on, but that's me. You have to look at where you want to live, the type of job you want to have, and if it's in a particular area, Washington, D.C., you're just going to have to put up with a commute. That's all there is to it.
Take a look at the videos that Jeff has recorded on the Thursday sessions, but there's a lot of videos on resumes that are available. Samples, examples, people are walking through suggestions on resumes. So the rule about resumes is for 100 people, there's 120 ways to do a resume.
Yeah.
The question is, are you getting calls? Then you got a good one.
Yeah, it's really skewed right now because of the holidays just seem to shut everything down.
Yeah, I would think things will start picking back up. We talked about Texas Workforce. You want more information about that. So if you're not familiar, here in Texas, there are actually 28 divisions of Texas Workforce around. Texas is split up in 28 sections, okay? Dallas County is its own workforce office. Tarrant County is its own workforce office. The North Texas offices are the 7 counties that circle Dallas and Tarrant County. Each one is run separately, okay? They're separate. You can go to any one you want, but each one is separate. They have different classes. They have different bosses. They report, it's a contract thing. The state of Texas contracts out with people to manage these different things. So everyone's going to be a little bit different. My history from what I've known over the last 17 years of dealing with these people, Tarrant County is the best. North Texas is the second best. And Dallas County tends to lag everybody else in what they can do and how they help you. If you're a veteran, you definitely want to check out, there's a whole separate division for the Texas Workforce offices, veterans offices. So if you've been a veteran, you definitely want to check that out because there's a whole separate group.
I agree. Dallas was the best. Denton was pretty good, which is the one that I generally went to. But if you go to one, you find out, or it's easy to find out what's going on at the other ones, which is how I got exposed to the Dallas one.
Yeah, I use the one in Alliance because that's about 10 minutes away. And they've been pretty helpful.
Yeah, the Alliance one is one of the better ones that are out there. Once again, it's run by the Tarrant County group, and the Tarrant County group just seems to be really on top of what can we do to help people. All right, what else can we answer for somebody? A question somebody's got? In here? Okay, hold on.
When talking about LinkedIn and the skills that you can list, you're limited to 50, is my understanding. So you have customer service listed, but then the job description asks for customer services. It's just a little bit tweak of the word. How do we get around that? And does it matter? And there's multiple examples like that. Right?
Right, yeah. I mean, I think the whole key is you've got to use the words that are in LinkedIn because that's what's going to be searched by. But if you're, let's say you're a customer service or what you're a customer success. So I guess the key there is to how do you get those keywords into your profile? Okay. And it's to put those keywords, you need to put them in your work experience, but you can use that summary statement or the about statement. The first part of that summary, the about statement should tell people what it is you do and if they're going to call you. And the bottom part of that should just be keyword crazy. And if you look at my profile, I can call my profile up here. Give me a second. Let's see here. Give me just a second here. One of the things I do want to mention about LinkedIn is we just found out those little tests that we used to tell people to take to be certain to get the little clipboard. That's all but gone away. LinkedIn did away with it about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So they're no longer doing any of those little being able to be certified or whatever their little their little what the LinkedIn learning courses. I think you can still do that, but as far as being certified to get the little skills testing, that's all gone away. It's wiped off your profile if you had them on there. So you can take a look and see, but my understanding is it's no longer there. They're no longer offering it. All right, let me show you my profile here just a second. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so if you come down here to my about section, what I've done, see more, is so top half just tells people who I am, but I'm down here at the bottom, the very bottom of mine. Nobody's ever going to read this, but these were just keywords to get that match. So as you find keywords in other people's, you have 2,600 characters in this field. This is the biggest field LinkedIn offers. So here's a great place. You keep the paragraph short, okay, 2 or 3 lines maximum, so people will sort of glance through and read it. But nobody's going to read this bottom part, but it's just there for keyword matching. The line up and down, yes. The pipe symbol. Yep, hold on.
You can do the same thing for every job. If you give your job title, you say what you did, and usually there's enough room to do something like that. So you can list alternative job titles or different functions that didn't show up above. And again, it'll show up in a search. It'll lead them to your profile in the search, and then they'll look at what's going on.
You're talking about putting that in the job.
Yes.
Job description.
Like I worked at such and such for so-and-so. Usually you list, 3 or 4 lines, what's going on. And there's a lot of other space you can do this kind of thing for each job.
Right. So here's something new that they just started. If you look here under, this is Kim Jones's profile. And they started this a little while ago. When you start a new profile now, you can actually list skills for that particular job. So there's another place to put the same skills a second time. So now you've got it there 2 times. And hopefully you take some of those skills and you put them in your bullet points, which then gets there a 3rd time. They say you want your skills 3 to 5 times over your entire profile to make them stand out. Whoop, hold on, wait. You can't talk without the microphone. Hold on. Sorry.
So sorry I talked without the microphone. So I was just going to say, Jeff and everybody, that one of the things I've noticed is that when you add a skill to one of the 50 skills you can add to your LinkedIn profile, it normally asks you which jobs you use that skill at, and then it gives you a checkbox where you can check, yes, I used it at this job and that job, and that's how the skills appear on each job.
Right. Also, I want to point this out. If you haven't seen, I use Kim's his profile all the time because I just love what he's done here. If you have a hard to pronounce name, you have this feature that you can actually have your name pronounced. Now, Kim Jones, pretty easy to pronounce, but he has done something a little bit different.
I'm Kim Jones, an accomplished B2B marketing leader in cloud communications technologies.
So you have 10 seconds that you can record your name. So if you're hard to pronounce the name, put your name in there. But here's a great little way because people see that, oh, let me just see what he happened to say. Now you've heard him, you know, it can't hurt on what to do there. So that's another feature. You can only record the audio on your mobile phone now. You can't use a desktop or a laptop to record that. It's got to have the mobile phone, but I really like that. Also, Kim has put down, he's currently looking for a job, but his current job here is he's created a job, B2B marketing. He put his phone number and email address in and he's saying it's freelance. That's the name of his company. So what happens is when he up here on the top, it pulls that information, which tells people, okay, it tells me anyway, that he's currently looking for a job because it doesn't show a current company. If you don't want to put your phone number on there, we understand, get a Google Voice number.
There another way to do alternate phone numbers? Because I have issues, as I have other issues with Google Voice, because due to security reasons, it doesn't. I don't. Just decide, there may be another way to do it, or they can shield it.
I'm sure there are other ways to do it. Google Voice is the one I know and what, I recommend to people because it's free. The other services that I think I've seen, they charge you to do that.
I have a question about keywords. Is there any more importance of the keyword showing up in your experience than in what we just talked about, your about section or any other section, or is a keyword within your profile?
I would say keywords in your profile. It's just you want them to show them a couple times. When a recruiter using LinkedIn Recruiter types in that they're looking for and they put in a certain keyword, whatever that is, it is highlighted to when they open up your profile, it'll highlight it throughout the presentation. So I've heard Kurt Vondermatter say that if he doesn't see it 2 or 3 times, if it's just there one time, you're sort of like, do you really have that experience or not? Are you really showing me you have it? So I would say it's important. The skills are important, those 50 skills to be able to put on there, because you'll be able to, if they happen to put something in the skills category. But, for the most part, just make sure that you've got, skills listed, because if they happen to look for it, most of the time, what are they going to do? They're going to put in, I'm looking for a job title in a city location. That's how they start their funnel biggest. And then if they need to narrow it down, well, I need somebody who has a certain skill, they'll list it. And so hopefully you've got the same skill listed.
Just a warning to the keywords and skills that you put in the texts. It's good to have it there more than once, but don't cram. If you put the same word multiple times together and then white it out or do something funny like that, I've heard that LinkedIn will kick you out and it's hard to get your account reopened.
Say that again?
Okay. Stuffing. So what do you, for in here, it said, what was that again? So if you take the same word, whatever it is, accounting, and you list it 5 or 6 times in a row, that's stuffing. List it once here, once down in your job description, once down in a job farther down, that's okay. Just don't list the same one over and over again, right next to each other, just trying to, get it in 5 or 6 times. Good point. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
White it out. I think, Matt, you said, don't use white font and try to disguise it. My follow-up question is, does it matter how many endorsements there are for a skill? Because I'd like to delete some of the skills I put and put some of these newer ones, but I've been endorsed, 5, 10, 50 times. Does it matter?
If you delete a skill, the endorsements stay for that skill. If at some point in the future you put it back in, those endorsements will come back. At least that's how it used to be with LinkedIn. I don't know if it's still like that.
And to me, endorsements, would never look at somebody's endorsements, how many you have, because personally, people endorse me all the time but they never worked for me. So how do they know that I'm a great leader? I mean, they wouldn't know that. Oop, hold on.
To Kelly's point, like if the new word is customer success versus customer service, and I've got 50 endorsements for customer service, I could delete that and switch and add customer success. And it doesn't matter that I had those other endorsements, or I have no endorsements for that. Okay, good.
I mean, that's my personal thing. Endorsements, I think, are a waste. I think it's because people are just sitting there. Yeah, I'm going to endorse you for this and this and this. And how do they know? They don't really know what you're doing.
I think I'm good, Jeff. I just was going to say the answer to my question is it probably is more important to have keywords in your job descriptions. As you said, it's highlighted when the recruiter pulls that up. So, just piling in your keywords into your about section isn't enough.
Going back to the word stuffing, Dennis O'Hagan used to talk about a lot of different tricks for LinkedIn, and he got banned from LinkedIn a couple times. But he was a realtor, and he had real estate Dent, real estate Dallas, real estate, and he list, and it wasn't technically word stuffing because he had all these different locations, but he had real estate like 50 times this thing, and LinkedIn didn't like it, but they allowed it.
Right, because he would mention a different city, a different city for each one of those when he listed it like that. So that's what made it okay. All right, what else can we answer for somebody? Yes, go ahead.
Hi, first time caller.
First time caller, long time listener. Thank you for being with us today.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I do my little commercial and then ask my question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hey, I'm Dan Grace. I'm a customer success manager, or whatever it's being called this week. Primarily in the telecom industry. I've worked with large enterprise and medium-sized companies to ensure overall satisfaction with whatever services we're offering, in this case, UCaaS and CCaaS, if you're familiar with those. During my last 10 years, I consistently achieved over 90% renewal rates on contracts. My name's Dan Grace. Anyway, my question has to do with keyword matching with tools when you apply for a job. And I've been doing that a lot, and I'm still getting automatic rejections, even though my scores are high going in. At least the analytics tell me that they're high. What's your thoughts on, or anybody on here, that, whether it's worth the time? Because I literally change my resume for every job that I apply to match as close as I can to the job description. Does that make sense?
Comments in here? Suggestions, comments, anybody? Well, my comment is don't waste your time applying for a job online unless you can network your way in using LinkedIn or finding a contact in a company, somebody who can get that resume and hand deliver it to the hiring manager, to somebody in HR, because just applying online, I bet you could be 99% and you still wouldn't get less than 1%, 1 to 2% of online resumes get a phone call, get a response. If you can get it hand delivered to somebody, that number jumps up to 45 to 50%. So that's what you want to do. You've got to find a way. Who do I know in the company? How can I network my way into the company? 75 to 80% of jobs are found through networking. That I networked in, I talked to somebody who got my resume passed along. So if you're just applying online, no matter how well your keyword matching is, and I've heard of people who get a rejection letter and the next day they get a phone call from HR. Yeah, we'd like to talk to you about this position, because the computer automatically generates this stuff out, and they tell, oh, well, that's all right. That's the system. So
yeah, I agree. And my last 3 jobs have been through networking, and I expect this one will too, but I was really more interested in whether or not it's worth any time to do the keyword matching before you apply for something online.
I suggest, this is Walt, I suggest a master resume. Now, Jeff talks about this as well. So you have a master resume and you can put that on LinkedIn. So you might have 6 bullets on LinkedIn, but on the one that you want to send in for consistency, you only put maybe 3 bullets and put the 3 most important ones relative to that particular position. Because if you have a different resume that's different than LinkedIn, that can be seen as a negative. So see if you can't work it out that way. I'd say you've done enough work on matching. Stop. You know, how much more are you going to do and how much results are you going to get than what you've already done? So, but keep it relevant and keep doing that. I think you're on the right track, but we got a lot more better things to do. That's a good old Texas expression, more better.
More better. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I've got a target list of companies I'm trying to work my contacts in. It's been a little slow. I would just like to get some callbacks to at least have an HR screening, just for practice more than anything, I guess, unless they're very serious about whether or not I'm going to get to the next step.
Yeah, I would think that this week will still be a little slow, but I would think it would start to pick back up. People back into full mode next week. I think, having New Year's on a Monday and Christmas on a Monday, sort of, I mean, we only took off one Friday here. Normally we take off a full 2 weeks and we really didn't do that here just because of the way the holidays hit. So I think after this week, things will pick back up, starting next week.
Great. Thanks.
Dan, I had a question for you. You mentioned tools and analytics when you're, when you're talking about keywords and the resumes in LinkedIn. What tools are you talking about?
I use an add-on to Chrome. It's called Jobalytics.
It's called what?
Jobalytics.
And what's that do for you? Is it an analysis of? Because I know
it's actually really cool. You pull up any job site job description, then you click the add-on button, and it asks you to upload a resume to compare it against. And literally, you just click a button after you upload it, and it gives you a score, and it literally shows you what matches and what's missing from your resume. And that's what I've been doing. And they say 80 to 85% is the minimum matching you should have before you apply. And so I tweak my resume, and it's stupid stuff like, multi-channel with a dash or not with a dash, right? Or, collaboration versus collaborating. It's real picky, just like a lot of the keyword matching in LinkedIn is the same. Somebody mentioned a little bit earlier. So try it. It's really cool. And once you start editing your resume, you re-upload it, press the button again, and it rescores it. And you can tell if you're making progress or not, because it matches more things in the job description. So that's what I've been doing. It's a free tool. It's an add-on to Chrome. Jobalytics.
Name again and maybe spell it. I still didn't understand what you said.
Dan, would you go and put that information in the chat window?
Sure.
Sort of put that into an email this afternoon so everybody can get a copy of it.
Yeah, there was something in one of these classes. Somebody presented and they talked about an app online, and I did it. It was pay app, and I did it. I'd love for the same thing to get out of a free situation.
Yeah, I've always used jobscan.co.
That's it. Yep.
But you only do 5 free ones a month.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be
There's a Chrome
little bit better.
Yeah, this one's free.
That's great. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Bet.
What else can we do? I now have a second microphone, so I don't have to run around here now. What else can we answer for somebody?
I've got the microphone. I'll ask more of a comment. I would like to volunteer to be part of the pit crew, part of the interviewing group. I've got extensive experience interviewing for sales and those kind of jobs. So if you need somebody, I don't know if I talk to you, Chandler, or
just send an email to Dallas Pit Crew. Send an email to dallaspitcrew.com if you're interested in being an interviewer.
Will do.
And
Ron Layton.
Ron will get you on the list.
Dallas
Gmail, or
I've got it.
yeah, whatever it says here. Whatever it says here.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, you got it. All right. What else can we answer for somebody? Anybody online? Question?
Jeff, you had a question in the chat, but they could
Oh,
not.
question in the chat. Let's see here.
Kevin Capel said he couldn't, his microphone and his camera weren't working. They had a question.
Okay, hold on, looking for Kevin's question.
I just put the Jobalytics stuff in the chat.
Great, thank you very, very much. Kevin. I don't see Kevin's question. Let me go back and see if I can find it here. Farther, Kevin.
He was asking about when a job is posted on LinkedIn or something similar. He was asking, should you apply through LinkedIn or the company site?
Yes to both. I would do both. It
Why?
can't hurt, but the whole thing is you do that, but you still want to network your way in. So, how can you, what can you do to network your way in? That's, to me, I think what's really, really important. Who do I know? How can I get myself in? And if you don't know who the person is in HR, send it to the HR supervisor. Send it to the director of human resources, because what will happen is they'll push it down to the right person and you'll probably get a phone call because it was pushed down from the manager or the director. So you can always usually find out who those are by looking on LinkedIn.
I know for me, we've gone to a new tool as of January the 1st called Workday, which I've used it before at other companies. And I know it was just like when I went out there, because it's telling me to update like my profile and everything. And it also had on there like suggested people I should connect with, like people that are in this new title that I'm in. It showed all 100 of the people, where they're located. And it's like you said, you could send like a little message to them saying, hey, Happy New Year, let's connect, or, just to network and everything. So that's something I noticed on there. And then on the particular job that someone told me to apply for, it did have the hiring manager's information on there. And I did send him a friendly little note and said, hey, I applied for the job, with like 15 minutes of your time just to learn more about what initiatives you are trying to do for this particular project that they're trying to get started here in the first quarter. So that's something that I've noticed on some of them, that they have started putting the hiring manager's name on them. And they have changed, because I know there was a few people from this team that reached out to me. I did submit their resume as referrals. But on some of those, I could not drill down and find out who the hiring managers were. But I at least got that little notification back that, they did get their information and everything. But with the new work that is telling me to follow back up on that. So when I get some time today, I'll follow back up on that to see, if they're still open or if they're still, scanning the candidates for the roles that some people reach out to me about.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, what else can we answer for somebody? Question somebody else has? Question? Anybody online question?
I've got one I'll throw out, kind of a Hail Mary here. Has anyone heard of a company called C1 Innovation Lab? It appears to be a division of HCSC or Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yeah, I just found out about them this morning and chasing down an opportunity there. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Nobody here.
There's
That's
a
fine.
company called Converge One in the networking space that's listing itself as C1 on LinkedIn. But I don't know if that's affiliated a partner. It sounds like it's completely separate.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, though.
Okay.
I have a question. What is wrong with the generic request for a connection on LinkedIn?
Go ahead, anybody?
No response means you think it's all right?
No, you got to give a point of reference. at the very least. For example, oh, I'm sorry, one of the ladies here and me just connected, and she, even though we're on the call currently, she still gave a reference. Hey, we met at this meeting, blah, blah, blah. You at the very least, hey, Ray said that we were talking at this event or the other day. He said I may want to connect with you. Give him a reference. Now, nothing annoys me more than getting some out of the blue connection request and not knowing who, what, why, or how. But that's me. Some people have Lion, the LOIN, and that means that they'll connect with anyone, anywhere, anyhow, practically. So if you see Lion, you don't have to, from my understanding. But personally, I'd still give some type of reference point, but that's me.
Yeah, I think the ones without any reference point and kind of commentary make it feel like a mass mail attempt. So I normally ignore those, but I got one during the call as well, and I think from the same person, and it was well written, and it made me want to connect.
And say, I don't know you, or just ignore it. So, I mean, I was on those of you that are on Ron Belletti's call on Thursday, people will just randomly message me, and then I'll look at it and like, oh, I think they were on the call. Should I accept it or not, or teach them a lesson and say, thank you, no, thank you.
So there is a feature on LinkedIn where you can invite the people around you. So it uses your cell phone. And if you're in the room with them and they're not connections, it will send an automatic request.
Yeah, you got it.
I've done that at certain things. The Stonebriar, the thing they used to do quarterly would do that. And some of the larger things would do that. It's like if you're brand new to this and you have nobody in your network, that's one thing to do. I don't do that anymore.
No, the danger is you invite people that probably don't have some commonality with what you're working on. I went to a Google event and it nearly blew my phone up. But it's you tend to get a lot of people that you probably don't want at the end of the day. You want people that are like-minded and wanting to hit the goal, right?
I think the message of a generic request, at least for me, is you just want to count me as a connection. You don't want to have anything to do with me whatsoever. So I also like to, I download periodically my connection request from LinkedIn. And when I look at that and somebody says, do you have a connection at? I go look and I said, oh, well, here's Jim, and here's how I met him. Here's his LinkedIn connection request. Here's when it was. Here's what it said. Here's how I know him, or whatever it might be. And just with that minimum information, I can say, well, here's how I know him. Here's whatever. So that will help me help you. And that's why you're connecting with me anyway. So in my world, put in that information and I'll be glad to connect with you. Emmanuel, send me another request and I'll connect with you, okay? Because I deleted yours. All right. So be glad to help if anyone with anything you can think about for an advantage to say, how can I differentiate myself? And that's a strong way you can do it on LinkedIn.
And I think the other important thing about that, for at least for me, is that if somebody can, lots of people want to connect with me. If you don't send me a personal note, I won't connect with you. But by sending me that personal note, if you reach back out to me in 6 months or a year or 2 years or 5 years, I'll know where we met at, because you'll say, oh, I met you at the North Dallas meeting, back in 2006 or whenever it was. I'll do that. Because I've been on LinkedIn now for 15 years probably. So, my connections really range, but I want to send me that personal note. It's very important.
When I've done the Bluetooth connection and connected with a bunch of people, you can go back and clean up your connections. When you connect The latest connections are at the top when you go into your network, and you can disconnect person by person and they never find out about it. So it's a good way. If you connect with somebody accidentally, or you connect with somebody and they end up being a pain, just disconnect. It's easy.
One of the other things too is if you meet people like, when I go to the national conference that I speak at, I'll just recognize if they're a pharmacy student or whatever, I'll connect with them if they do it by mistake without sending me a note. But what you can do is after the session, after the meeting's over, go back and message those people. It was nice to meet you at the AMCP 2023 in New Orleans or whatever. And then that way you at least have a record of where you may have seen them at. So if you do have your Bluetooth turned on in a room and there's a bunch of people, after it's done, send them each a quick little note. Nice to see you at the social event, the Frisco social event or whatever it was, just so that you then have that record.
You can download those too.
Yeah.
And that's also a good way to get around that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Personalized limit.
Right. Hold on.
I was just going to follow that up with saying that's a nice way to get around that 10 personalized connections invite limit you have with LinkedIn. Just
Right.
message them.
Yeah, one word of caution about invitations that you receive that include a note, and that is AI generated synthetic characters, who are requesting connection even with a note, and they are getting more sophisticated. So even personally, for connection requests that I get that have a note, I'm still vetting them. I'm not just automatically assuming just because there's a note that this is an authentic person, because I'm just seeing more and more of these synthetic characters and avatars connection requests, and I'm assuming other people are as well.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important. You need to vet what's out there. All right, what else can we answer from somebody? Yes, Lily, I see your hand up.
Actually, not a question, but something that I wanted to share from my experience. Some people have a little button that says connect. And I think if you mouse over it, it says, if you know this person, connect with them. Be careful not to click that, because it will not let you add any message. It goes directly as a connection request. Rather, take the time to click on those three dots or whatever. That'll give you a kind of a pull down menu where it gives you options, and then connect. Go through that. It's a little roundabout. Don't use the opportunity for a shortcut, because it won't let you add a note.
Right. So
Not everyone has that, but I don't know, maybe someone who has a premium account can do that, so that they don't have to wade through messages. And I mean, kind of, high level, high functioning people. And that's where I had that experience.
Right. I think that's part of that is, so if you're using a PC, a desktop or a laptop, using the desktop version of LinkedIn, a white connect button sends a generic invitation. Click on the person's face, go to their profile. You should then be able to select a blue connect button. When you see a blue connect button, you can always send a personal note. Now,
okay.
Or on a tablet, if you're using the mobile version, a blue connect button will send the generic invitation. I wish they would change that and make it white, but they change, make it blue. So if you want to do that, click on the person's face and then look for the little three dots like you talked about off to the right of the
Perfect. Okay.
The option, the drop-down menu to add a personalized invitation for just if you're on a mobile device.
And if you accidentally hit connect and it sends them, you can immediately follow that up with a personal message, which I've done before. I've accidentally hit it, but then you're connected and you can just send them a message. Oh, sorry, happy to connect with you.
Right.
Yeah, going further with that experience, I withdrew the invitation because I didn't want to send it without a note, even though I'd met that person just that day or the day before, but I still didn't want. And then LinkedIn won't let me send another connection request for 3 weeks. So I just waited for the next opportunity to see that person before I said, by the way, this is what happened. I still want to connect. I'll send it to you this. Yeah, and the other thing, I'm not sure we are still allowed to connect with everyone around us. Someone told me that's been taken away. I think it used to freak some people out when you're in a large room and suddenly get flooded with all these connection requests when you don't know those people. I'm not sure that's still available.
Anybody know in here? Turn on, does it work? I personally don't use the mobile app on my cell phone. I go to the desktop version or use the web version.
Yeah, I use the mobile app, but in fact, to save time and to make sure I have the right person, I pull up their profile and then take a picture, a screenshot, so that way I have a list in the form of pictures in my album that I go to when I go home and use my desktop to send those connection requests with a note. And I tell them that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, I doubt it's still there. I haven't seen it on the app, but there was a Facebook event where patients in a psychiatrist's office got notifications of the people they'd seen in the office coming through. That's why I got pulled back.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't used it for about 4 years, so it's possible it's gone.
I just wanted to highlight something that Walt mentioned, and I discover many people don't know this. It's a new year, so download all your connections, and you can do that on LinkedIn. And if you don't know how, Google it, and it'll tell you exactly how to. It takes a little bit if you have hundreds of connections, but it does tell you the name, title, all the contact information of the people that are connected, so you can take a look at that. And then, if you haven't done it already, it's a good time to do your Happy New Year prayer letter. And if you don't know where that prayer letter is, Jeff has it on the careerdfw.org site, which is a nice way. It's kind of a prayer. It's a reach out to, your connections to remind them that you're job searching and what you're looking for. It's a great letter to put out on a regular basis.
No.
And I just happened to call up because I wanted to make sure we talked about that. So this is something Kurt Vondermeyer talks about, the prayer letter. There's a couple different options here. I'll show you where to get it here in just a second, or I'll include it in the email this afternoon I put out to everybody. But first month, he says, reach out to all your contacts. And you want to here's what you want to say, okay? Don't leave a voicemail unless you have to. If you can't get to them on the second, third time, then leave a voicemail. Then after that, every month, or I think every 3 weeks, he says every month. The stuff I've added is in green. The stuff that Kurt talks about is in black. But he talks about subject line. Great people know great people. If you didn't know what I was up to these days, I wouldn't be able to help. I'm in a job search and what we talked about last month. So what you're following with people you've talked to. The second paragraph is just a quick update. I'm still looking for new opportunities as a whatever that is. I think you should add, I'd like to thank the following people who've helped me over the past few weeks. List a few names because you send this out blind copy. Nobody's going to know. So just make up a few names that you want. And then people go, well, I didn't help them. I want to get my name on the list next time. List some of your target companies. Here's some of the target companies I'm interested in. If you or anyone in your network has contacts with these people and these companies, please let me know. Feel free to forward this note along to anybody. If there's anything I can do for you or anyone in your network, don't hesitate to call. I will be back in touch. The first time you send this out, you may not get anything. The second, third time is when things may start to happen because they go, oh yeah, well, I got this last month. I guess I ought to take a look at this. So like I said, I like every 3 weeks. I think it's not too soon, but it just sort of keeps your job search going. Like I said, I'll include this in the email I put out to everybody as long as I have your email address in the chat window this afternoon.
I have a question, but it's for Jamin. I want her to answer it.
Okay.
Well, wait, she needs the mic.
You're talking about downloading the contacts. Is it PDF or can you export it to Excel?
Yes.
Yes, it's what is it? A
CVS file.
CVS file that you can convert to Excel. Absolutely. Don't spend your time. I connected with someone a couple weeks ago who's starting to handwrite on Excel all those contacts. So I'm like, wait a minute, just download it from LinkedIn. And it was just like, whoa. Merry Christmas to you. So there you go. That's your tip for the new year.
Tip for the new year. All right, what else can we answer for somebody out there? Out there in here.
So I can update you on the LinkedIn thing. It doesn't do it anymore. They've switched it out for a a QR code. So you can add somebody by hitting add and show them your QR code, let them scan it, and they've got it that way.
Right. And if you, yeah. It's sort of amazing how QR codes became in favor, then they were out of favor, and now they're sort of back in favor again. So, all right, what else can we answer or talk about? Anybody?
Very short comment from Walt. Kelly Lanier paused between her first and last name when she introduced herself, and it reminded me of something we should all do. Good job, Kelly. But it really stands out that you can hear the first and last name. We can tell our names and people don't understand who we are if we just ramble them out and don't make them clear. So good job, Kelly.
Right.
I'll have to start doing that again.
I tell you what, let's go around those people that are online and give us your 30-second introductions. Matt, you want to tell us who you are?
Good morning, Matt Keelan. I'm an IT executive, but I've spent the last 12 years in the consulting realm with Grant Thornton and most recently Cherry Beckert. I'd like to get back into industry, get a CIO, IT VP, or IT director position, depending on the size of the company. I'm in the Dallas area, specifically Richardson. My name is Matt Keelan. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Mike?
I'm Mike Murphy, and I've been a troubleshooter and technical support expert with startups and turnarounds for quite some time. I enjoy working with customers and improving services, whether inside the company, improving processes, or outside resolving systematic issues. Looking for Cisco and similar companies with a networking focus.
Thank you, Mike. Steve? Steve, you're muted. There you go.
Yes, there we go. I saw that. So I'm retired now, but I like to keep coming to these meetings to see what's going on in the world. I'm a .NET developer by trade, and I'm looking for. I've been talking to the VA and who's my dad at the company. So that's what I am. I'm retired but still coming to these meetings.
Steve, thank you very, very much. Michael?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay, I'm still having issues with my volume. I'm Michael Cruz. I live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm looking for a director of finance position. My background is primarily providing financial support for technology organizations. I've got a corporate financial planning analyst background, so driving the budget, forecast, reporting processes at companies, closing the books, capital investments, etc. And that's my story. I'm Michael Cruz.
Thank you very much. Mark, you want to give us your 30-second introduction?
Yeah, sure. My name is Mark Bamford. I live in on the outskirts of Fort Worth in a place called Newark. I have over 30 years experience in manufacturing, leadership, and technical side of things. I'm the guy that can start a plant from an empty building to a full production unit and have it up and running as quickly as possible. I'm looking for a senior manufacturing VP or director role, depending on the size of the company, so I can continue doing something that I'm very passionate about. I also have 10 years retail experience with my own company in the United Kingdom, so I can understand the customer's point of view as well. And I'm targeting companies like MI, Champion Windows and Doors, and Benjamin Moore.
Mark, thank you very much. Kevin.
Even the audio is unmuting now. Yay! Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Capel. I'm a software quality assurance engineer. Looking for a lead or manager position, preferably remote in a technology company. I'm currently looking for positions with emphasis software PHA, MVP healthcare, Voyager Sopris Learning, or Intelitech. I'm Kevin Capel.
Thank you, Kevin. How about Scott? Scott from New Jersey. New Jersey. Yeah, Scott from New Jersey. All right, Scott then I guess can't join us right now. Lily.
Yes, this is Lily Kadur. I've come out of a career in software development and I'm transitioning to a career in cybersecurity. Have equipped myself with a 6-month cybersecurity boot camp at SMU, and I'm pursuing a couple of certifications as well. I'm Lily Kadur.
Thank you very much. Closton.
Good morning, group. My name is Costin Phillips. I'm just now exiting the military as a U.S. veteran. I was in the Navy. Hoo-yah. I currently hold a position as ISSO. Transition period is in 6 days, so I'm looking for either an ISSO position or a network engineer. The companies I'm interested in are Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Apex. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Eliza. Eloise. Hello. There we go.
Hello. I didn't know who you were talking about me, so
Sorry.
that's okay. I'm Eloise Wright. I'm an award-winning writer editor, and I've done everything from missiles to makeup, from Northrop Grumman to Mary Kay. And I thrive in a collaborative culture, and I'm looking for love magazines, love working with people. So just it's been a struggle this last year. So so I'm trying to get back in the game. So I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and so I'm Eloise Wright.
Great. Thank you very, very much. All right. Question. Anybody else have a question? Question, comment about your job search? Going once. Going twice. All right. Well, let me share a few more slides and we will get out of here. Let's see here. Whoop. Wrong mouse. Next week, our speaker will be how to stay positive in your job search. And let me get my slides up here. With Lorraine Friedman, she's a certified professional executive coach. So she'll be with us to share. She will be here with us in person next week. So if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please come join us in person. It's nice because what's going to happen here when we turn off the webinar part, everybody here is going to start networking with everybody who's here, which is what you don't get when you're online. So if you live in the DFW area, please come join us. Oops, let's see here. If you've not put your 30-second reductions in the chat window, please do so for those online. That way, I'll make sure we get the prayer letter to you this afternoon and that we have your information so you'll get a copy of the roster. Career DFW, Career USA, we're back on starting next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I'll be presenting LinkedIn, Present Yourself Like a Pro. Next Wednesday, the practice interview team will be meeting in person. So if you'd like to schedule an interview, just reach out to dallaspickcrew@gmail.com. Next Thursday, we're going to talk, and that's not the right speaker. Next Thursday, yeah, wrong speaker, sorry. Boy, off for a week and a half, and you just forget to get things set up right. We've got a speaker who's going to talk about networking. I think it's called Net Worth. Your network is your network, or something like that. So please come join us next Thursday for our networking workshop. and then we'll be back next Friday. This session has been recorded. It will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel, but you may not want to watch a lot of bugs today. So I don't know, not one of my better presentations. I'll get back in routine next week. On the Career USA YouTube channel, click on playlist, and you can select one of 8 different playlists. I just created a new playlist all about interviewing. I took the for interviewing and I put them in a separate playlist. You can find them very easily. But if you want to select any of our speakers from the North Dallas group, just click on view full playlist and up will come a list of speakers. Just remember that the speakers on Friday group all 30 minutes. Today, if you want to come join us today for lunch, 11:45 we'll be at Country Burger, 3115 West Parker Road, the northwest corner of Parker and Independence. If you want this particular burger, you need to bring your own ham, spices, but you can't get this burger if you play though, because they don't have a copy of it. But yeah, burger, salad, chicken. Come join us today at Country Burger, 11:45. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great Friday, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Jeff.
Thank you.